I've recently moved from Washington State to Chinle, Arizona, a small, rural, and poor community lying in the heart of the Navajo Reservation, for my job at the hospital pharmacy for Native American. A couple weeks ago, as I finished my work and started to walk home from the hospital, I put on my rainbow beanie and walked out in the freezing mountain weather. A young Navajo man approached me asking what the time was. I was tensed up as first, but I did tell him the time and was about to keep walking when he asked me another question, this time about where I was from. I honestly thought, oh no, because I walked to work that day and didn't have the barrier of my car to shield me from this guy. Well, I did reply to his question that I came from Washington State and asked some question about him in return. While in my head, I was trying to figure out an escape route if things were indeed going wrong. But out of nowhere, he asked me if I knew any Navajo words yet, and then taught me to say hello and goodbye in his native language. His behavior surprised me, because for all I knew, he could try to ask me for money or a ride to somewhere. Yet somehow that wasn't why he started talking to me. The young man asked me if he could walk me to my home. I reluctantly agreed, although I hadn't figured out the reason why he wanted to continue this strange encounter. While walking, he revealed to me that he was a student in his early 20s at a technical college here in the reservation, and that he was waiting for his mother who worked at the hospital. He told me that he wanted to be an emergency medical technician, moving to the city and starting his independent life later. He seemed honest when he told me those. So when we arrived at my apartment, I was kinda inviting him in for something to eat, hoping that maybe this was the reason why he had been following me. It was only in the comfort of my home that I could fully realize the reason that he wanted to talk to me in the beginning. He frequently talked about how people complimented his good manners, how he befriended with many girls, and how he understood girls well compared to guys his age. Just as I was about to ask the question, he turned to me and said, and I quote, "How did you get people to accept you for who you are? I mean, your beanie." The question stopped short, but the meaning was clear. He went on telling me story about him liking both guys and girls, about his crush for his best guy friend, which ultimately and sadly leaving him with a skull fracture and half a face being numb. He told me about his current secret relationship with an older man and about how hard it was for him to hide his sexuality from his family. The conversation continued over a simple dinner of my pre-made sandwiches, with one mainly telling stories and one mainly listening. When it was time for him to go meet his mother, I sent him on his way, telling him that I would be around to listen if he needed someone to talk to. I went back inside, donning my rainbow beanie on and taking the trash out. What a beautiful evening, I mumbled to myself as I looked up to the starry sky above.